Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, welcome. And on schedule, I could tell it's a Saturday. And it's a Saturday after Cinco de Mayo, which means I can really tell. Some of you were partying yesterday, and that's okay. I uh I remember when I was young once too, right? So you guys have fun. I got a decent night's sleep. I think my daughter woke up at like 5, which isn't so bad. So that was okay. All right, cool. So let's kind of jump into it. I don't have much. Um, the raise went well, so we're in a very good position. In fact, I was talking to one of our rhinos yesterday, and she was like, "Well, Aunt, everything sounds really good. Should I increase my plan?" And I said to her, "I go, well, it's a really unfair question to ask because I'm completely biased, right? The answer is yes. But I do want to also share with you that my entire net worth is Rhino. I don't own any stocks. I don't own any bonds. I don't have a savings account. I don't have any of that stuff. Every part of everything I have, link to this. Hey, Anthony, yes, I did not receive a link to the Zoom. Oh yeah, so I'll get to that in a second. Every asset that I own is Rhino. So when I said that to her, I go, so again, my answer is yes, but I'm living it, right? Like I'm completely aligned with your goals as well. So I don't know if she increased or not, but I just want to share that answer with everyone because I think it's important to know that I don't own a single financial asset outside of Rhino. Like this is everything. So I do understand we have a lot of belief and everyone is really, really, aligned. But little facts like that, they matter. Frida, so yesterday we actually made a bit of a boo-boo. So every 20 Zooms, we have to refresh for the next 20. Zoom doesn't let us schedule in perpetuity. So what happened yesterday was I didn't realize that we didn't have one scheduled, so I had to go back in time and schedule going forward. So yesterday you wouldn't have received it, but today hopefully you did. So, okay, cool. Hey, Deborah. All right, so where are we? So we had a good raise. So money's not an issue for us. Not that it ever is, but it's not even front of mind at the moment. Like we're okay. I was with the team yesterday. I got a chance to take a look at Rhino Bot, and it is so cool. So we did make a lot of strides. It will be, I say will be, like I know the future, right? But we are. I'm optimistic that it'll be ready by this weekend. I got a chance to look at it, and our prompt is just really long. It's like 3,500 words. So our tech team was like, they couldn't figure out how to get that prompt working, so they made a smaller prompt where they prompted our AI to pretend to be a hot dog salesman. And we were sitting there talking to it, and I'm like, I love hamburgers. And they're like, well, hamburgers are really delicious, but hot dogs are the way to go. You should really try it. Bop, bop, bop. And in that moment, you realize it was working. The only difference is it's working with this prompt, but not with this prompt. And the only difference between the two prompts is one is short and one is long. So functionally, it's working. The problem solving is very minute, right? Like to figure out how to just take this prompt and put it there is the easier thing to do. So I was working with them yesterday. I was actually improving our prompt. It's so funny because so much happens every day that I haven't touched our prompt in maybe like 3 weeks. And in 3 weeks, a lot has happened. So I was able to update it even more. I was quizzing it, like who's the founder, what's the price of the coin, like stuff like that. And it didn't know those answers because it wasn't in. Where can you trade it? Like all of that stuff that you wouldn't think to ask as me, right? Like I wouldn't think to ask those questions because I know those answers. But for someone that knows nothing about Rhino, they would like to know those answers. Like, where do I even trade it? Like, where is it registered? Is it publicly listed? What price did it come out? How long has it been traded? What's the daily volume? Stuff like that. Renee, good morning from Vancouver. Oh, yeah. Oh my God, Renee, wait till you see the spot. Urgh. I don't know why I did that. It was excitement, right? It wasn't fighting. But yeah, so so we did some improvement. It's really, really cool. So that's going. The events build out for RHINO Street is in the process. I think, well, actually, I had my team commit to me that by June, which is really giving a lot of time, that RHINO Street will be completely upgraded to show events. And what I mean by that is when you're searching any location, and again, you search your 20-mile radius, on that search results page, there'll also be a side that has all results, all events. And the idea being, well, you don't necessarily go to search and say, man, I wonder if there's a music festival somewhere. It's not something you would think of. And if you did think of it, you would actually search for just that. But what can really be a value added to the individuals that are running events is that anyone that searches anything in that area, those events would just pop up naturally. So if I'm searching for a hamburger, if I'm searching for a hot dog, on that page, you'll see a little events portion. And again, those events are special to you because it's in your 20-mile community. Oh, Mike and the band got back together and they're playing at Bar A, Tuesday or whatever. Oh, that sounds kind of cool. I'll go check it out, or let me go speak to him. In which case, this creates a marketing opportunity, but without the disgusting part of marketing, right? Like, we don't accept money from anyone. No one could buy any kind of service from RHINO Street. There's nothing for sale. It's literally just search. It's the most safe search. But if somebody's looking to market their band playing, well, to go ahead and share awareness that's playing in that 20-mile radius is marketing, but not paid marketing, right? Like, okay, if someone's searching for groceries and they see Mike's band's playing, yeah, they could click it, or they could go to it, or they could do whatever they want. But it offers the ability for Mike to have exposure within a community that either knows him or cares to know him, right? Like, you could not want to know anyone on your block, but you would want to know if you have any murderers on your block, right? Like, you want to know about them without knowing them. So that's just community. I want to know 3 doors down, there's a kid that's going to be in a spelling bee. I don't necessarily care, right? Like, I may not root for him, but to know that is really cool, right? Like, that person lives near me. And I think that's just human. Everyone always cares about their community first. That's your home. So that build out will be done by June. The marketing, so I said that I would have that completed by this week to launch with the RHINO bot, but I think I'm actually going to start looking at it today. I want to build out a natural, this is the ad, it goes to this is the offer, this is the retargeting, this is how to get in, these are the next steps. That process is going to be a 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 process. But we have a total build out. We have a lot of marketing stuff already. We have a lot of assets. We have a lot of cool stuff. And we have a lot of, not data, but there's a lot of people in RHINO from all different walks of life. So we have a good understanding of the RHINO value proposition per se. So I do want to kind of start doing ads. I think I'm going to do them on Twitter. I just love Twitter. I love Elon. I love everything they're doing over there. And Twitter's very crypto friendly. So it's not like Facebook, where if you did an ad, you have to kind of hide that crypto's a part of it. And on Twitter, you could just, hey, this is what it is. And on Twitter, you could actually market to someone's entire followership, right? So say, for instance, there's an individual on Twitter that aligns with your point of view. Like, you have a similar goals, similar ethics, similar whatever, right? You can go ahead and market to their people, the people that follow them, and or B, people that are like the people that are following them. And there's no conflict of interest there. So Twitter's not going to let you market to, a cartoon company, the same exact cartoon, right? And I don't know how they would figure that out, but at some point they would say, no, this is not okay. But if you wanted to market to someone that believe that people that were 50 years old should eat all the hamburgers they want, and you also believe that, well, then those seem like good people to market to because you have a similar point of view. And that is something that Twitter does offer, because there isn't the conflict. I'm not saying don't like them like us. I'm saying, oh, you like them, so do we. So maybe we're similar. And with the push of Elon in Twitter, there's a real big push in terms of building out a marketing process that people are happy with. So a lot of the work and resources he's devoted has gone to that department. In fact, I get emails from Twitter all the time saying, hey, really, come check this out. We have a new this, we have a new that. This is why people are really liking us. So I do want to check all that stuff out. So I think my goal is that by the end of today, I would have some type of wireframe of what that would look like. This would be the ad. These are going to be the call to actions. This is how they would join. This is the video they would see. If they don't join, this is what would happen. Like, I would like to have that done today so that we can go ahead and improve on it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The reason being, well, there's a lot of reasons, right? But the coolest reason is that, and I didn't realize I was going to do this until I did the call yesterday, and then I reiterated it with one of the rhinos I was speaking to yesterday on the phone, and it just is a great idea. All of the metrics from our marketing will then put into the Rhino ledger. And in doing so, we could put the cost per clicks, the click-through rates, the cost per acquisitions, all of the metrics that we see. What that would allow us to do is it has a predictive ability. So for instance, if we put $1,000 into marketing today, right? We're not, that's like insanely too much money. But if we put $1,000 into it today, and we learned that our conversion rate was 5%, well, then that's 50 new rhinos, right? And then if we learned in 3 or 4 days from now, well, actually, I guess we would learn this today, that of those 50 new rhinos, the average plan amount is $17, then we would be able to predict, or at least forecast, that for every 1,000 we put in, 5%, which is 50, join at an average plan of $17.50. Now, of course, we'd have to know the retention rate of that to see how far out we could predict that. But the point being, once you start that process, there is a lot of learning and data that you receive. So after a month or after a month and a half of that process, we can then have really, really strong numbers that's to the point that, say, in June, we want to go ahead and say, all right, come September, we want to have 1,000 new members, and we want them to be an average of $16 per plan. And we want that to be on average that they were retained for at least 7 months. We would have all the data to say, okay, well, to accomplish that, we need to spend this much today. In which case, if we spend this much today, we have a very good understanding that in 6 weeks or 7 weeks, these are the results we're going to have. And that has a lot of benefit. Not only does it benefit the company, right, in the sense that we can go ahead and value or at least predict our growth, but when you're a company that's based on market, right, like everyone owns a piece of it, well, you would like people to either A, buy, but B, at least hold. You don't want people to C, sell. And if you can go ahead and show, well, we made the investment today, this is what this is going to look like a month and a half from now, and that number is higher than this number, well, now you've actually given someone empirical data that they objectively believe because they see it and they understand the calculations to know, well, I was thinking about selling, but I'm not going to sell today because it's going to be $1, $2 more in a month and a half from now. And I could follow it every single day to make sure that that end is what we're looking for, which means, and this isn't like Anthony's like hocus pocusing stuff. No, these are things that people do every day in their own business. We just thought, why don't we show everyone that we're doing it? Because if we could show everyone we're doing it, then they could understand and see and believe and agree with us. Well, then everyone's in it together, like, duh, right? So the individual would A, no longer look to sell, but maybe even B, actually look to increase, which means the aggregate number of those that are buying versus those that are selling skews more towards the people that are buying, because the people that are selling have a diminished selling behavior, which at the end of the day, again, leads us quicker and quicker to that billion exhausted. And when that billion's exhausted, when you go ahead and have even more buyers than we thought we were going to have and even less sellers than we thought we were going to have, watch out, right? So these are all little things that I think lead us to our goal quicker and more rock solid, right? So I would like to get that started, because anytime you have a good idea, you want to just start it, right? But we do have prompt engineering today at 3 o'clock, and it's been a long week, so I don't have anything scheduled. All the prompts that I use, I've shared. So I'm actually going to spend a little time today researching new prompts because I do have resources, right? Like, so I can find some stuff. And more so than that, I want to see if I could just make people an emulator, right? Like, I want everyone to have their own chatbot. I could do the coding, I could do the API, I could do the prompt. I just need it in like a thing. So for instance, it's almost like I can make you a sandwich, but you need like a plastic bag to put it in, right? So I gotta. It's still early. It's 10 o'clock. I have maybe an hour or two of catching up to do, but other than that, we're good. Oh, lastly, everyone that participated is going to get a confirmation email today. Um, when you go ahead and upload any type of bulk into Kartra, they take 24 hours to just review it, which is cool. They don't let anyone just go on that platform and spam. Like, you can't actually bulk upload anything without them approving it. So we went ahead and did that yesterday. So once it's approved, we could then send out an email to that particular list. Because we did different variables, right? Like what that total spend was, what the total RHINO that they're going to receive is. So we'd like to send that out. Hey, Mr. Jones, this is confirmation of bop, 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 bop. If you need anything, we're here. So at least everyone has that for their records. So that is in the process, and that will be done by today, assuming Kartra doesn't take 48 hours, right? So I think that's all I got. I think that's it. Awesome playing it. Thank you. Let me see. I love your enthusiasm, Renee. I love that you love my enthusiasm. Frida, hi, Deborah. How are you? I sent you yesterday a newsletter from my autoresponder. Okay, cool. Frida and Deborah get to chatting because you both are awesome. And Robert's awesome. And Abdul's awesome. And Renee's awesome. And Fernesta's awesome. And Tom's awesome. And Rue's awesome. And Laura's awesome. And I could go on and on, right? So I love everyone. I will be here. I'll see whoever at 3. Otherwise, I'll see everyone Monday. Bye.